Hi, this is Scott Cartwright,
And this is Dr. Rudy Cartwright, your MS Health Coach.
and we want to thank you for checking out our video. We get a lot of questions about diet, basically, and what you should be eating for a proper multiple sclerosis diet. And those are great questions, and that is a great question. One of the main questions we get is what food ingredients should I avoid? And we're going to let you know exactly which food items and ingredients you should avoid because you have MS. Before we do that, though, just a little bit about us. My name is Scott Cartwright. I have a master's degree in public health, and I am the founder and creator of MS Health University. And MS Health University is a site I put together because MS affects me personally. My wife has MS, and we deal with all the challenges that go along with that on a daily basis.
Hi, Dr. Cartwright again. I'm a brain surgeon and an expert in multiple sclerosis. And if you're wondering why a brain surgeon knows so much about multiple sclerosis, well, let me just tell you. I have over 35 years of training and experience. And during that time, I saw a number of brain injuries and spinal cord injuries because of automobile accidents such as trucks, cars, motorcycles, and what have you. And what happens during those kind of injuries over a short period of time occurs with multiple sclerosis over an extended period of time. Now, why am I so passionate about multiple sclerosis and the recovery? Well, let me just tell you. Several years back, my son called me and said, "Dad, my wife has MS." And she was right in the middle of her medical school training. And I said, "Don't fear, don't worry. I know what to do for it." But I went back to the library to brush up on different things, and I put together a program for her, and she followed it. And I'm happy to say that she finished her medical school training, and now she is doing quite well, right in the middle of her residency training. And that's where I left it. And then one day my son walked in and said, "Dad, you got to share this information with others." And I said, "No way, no way." And then he kept hammering on me and hammering on me and hammering on me. And I finally gave in. And I started to give presentations and webinars for other MS recoverers. And they have, done quite well. And that is why I want to share that kind of information with you. Now here is a slide of my diploma from Baylor College of Medicine indicating that I did my neurosurgery training from June 1974 through June 1979.
All right, great. So before we jump into it, I just need to let you know that Dr. Cartwright is a medical doctor with over 35 years of training and experience, but the information we're sharing with you today is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as medical advice. Dr. Cartwright has not seen you as a patient and cannot give you medical advice, so whatever you do, please be sure to consult your doctor before you make any changes to your medical routine. And with that, let's find out the foods that you really need to avoid if you want to maintain a healthy multiple sclerosis diet.
That's correct. And it's important that you do maintain a healthy multiple sclerosis diet. And one of the things that really will take you down quickly is having too much glutamate or MSG in your diet. Or actually, any of it is bad when you're recovering from multiple sclerosis, because this glutamate does damage to the nerve cells, and it does damage to the cells that makes the myelin, which is the oligodendrocyte. So this can cause a real problem. In other words, it will slow the message that goes from one cell to another cell, and over time you'll have difficulty with walking, you have difficulty with hearing, difficulty with your vision. So you want to make sure you stay clear of glutamate or MSG. Now there are some things out there you just got to look at when you're buying food that's in a carton or a can or a bottle. If they say glutamic acid, don't consume it. Hydrolyzed plant protein, Same thing. These are just disguises for MSG. Hydrolyzed vegetable protein. Bad actor. MSG, of course, monosodium glutamate, it's a bad actor. You want to stay clear of these ingredients.
And what is MSG exactly, other than monosodium glutamate?
Well, normally, the human body, especially the brain cells, produces glutamate so that it is one way that one cell talks to another cell. It's a chemical that the nerve cell releases. But when too much of it is out there, it harms the nerve cell. Okay? So that's what MSG is. It's just another chemical that you're putting glutamate in. So it's called mono, 1-sodium, 1-glutamate. But then once it gets into the bloodstream, it is broken off, and now you have the glutamate floating around, stimulating and overstimulating the nervous system. And that's horrible when you have multiple sclerosis.
Right, and so your body produces glutamate, but MSG is a seasoning that you put in, that you find in certain foods and snacks and things to give it better flavor, to give it better taste.
Oh, that's right. If you can't cook, or if you're a horrible cook, you put glutamate in, MSG in that food, it makes it taste wonderful. But in terms of MS recovery, you want to make sure that you stay clear of this chemical that's part of your diet if you haven't been looking at the label.
And it seems like this is one of the biggies. If you're trying to maintain a strict MS diet, you need to really stay away from MSG.
You have to stay away from MSG. Okay, so what do we need to do? Well, I want you to start reading the label. Just read the label. And don't consume any of the ingredients that I've mentioned.
And the main one being MSG, but make sure you read the label to see if it has any of the hydrolyzed plant proteins or any of those other things in there.
That's correct.
All right, great. So we hope you liked this video. We really enjoy making these videos for you. We're putting out videos all the time, so if you want to be notified when we put out our next video, our next training session, please click the subscribe button that's just above this video. That subscribes you to our YouTube channel, our MS Health University YouTube channel, and you'll get a notification when we release our next video. So until next time, here's to your health.